And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week.
This week, the so-called safe harbor deadline for states certifying their electors passed, and on Monday, December 14th, the Electoral College will meet in the various state capitals around the nation, but there is still significant outstanding legal challenges. And in my judgment, they really boil down to one filed recently by the state of Texas against Pennsylvania and 3 other states for not so much voter fraud, but for state government, either officials, read secretaries of state, or courts, usurping their authority and imposing their will upon the constitutionally delegated and designated state legislatures. That case has been joined already by 17 other states, and amicus filings are coming in from every direction, both pro and con, including, I might say, one that I filed on behalf of a significant number of Pennsylvania legislators. And while the disposition of the Texas case may well be the tale of the tape for 2020, a couple of other issues have popped up in recent days that give people pause, most notably Hunter Biden's open admission now that his tax records are under federal investigation, as well as his business practices. You remember back prior to the last debate when this was hinted at by the media and others in the fourth estate said, oh my gosh, this reeks of a Russian hoax, etc. Well, now Hunter Biden himself, a month after the election, is admitting that it was true. Remember, they got Al Capone on tax evasion. They couldn't get him on anything else, but when they start looking at your tax records, it means they think there's perhaps a little fire where there's smoke. And as the legal challenges continue and we move forward to the day when the Electoral College actually meets, the Biden team continues to put out proposed administration officials. And this week we got 2 that are bound to meet with some controversy. First, their Secretary of Defense designee, General Lloyd Allen, is going to have to get a waiver because the United States has made a policy determination that we don't want recently retired military officers serving as Secretary of Defense. And already several Democrats are coming out against that waiver. Republicans may oppose General Allen on policy basis as well, so that potential nomination appears to already be in peril. Speaking of Secretaries of Defense, just remember this one. Secretary of Defense Robert Gates, under the Obama-Biden administration, said that Joe Biden had screwed up every foreign policy issue he had ever touched. Just a little tidbit for you there. And the other appointment that bears watching is Javier Becerra to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services, a lawyer, not a scientist there in the middle of this plague, and someone who apparently is being placed there, if he turns up to get nominated and confirmed, to fight the Trump administration reversals of many policies that had been put into place by the Obama administration. Stay tuned on both of those. Those nominations are going to have difficulty getting through the Senate. And the markets this week continue their roller coaster of volatility, although not a lot of shift this week. On Thursday, at the close of the day, the market was at 29,999, about as close to 30,000 as you can get. And we look to be closing out the year significantly better than it started. So through all of the pandemic and the shutdown of the economy occasioned by lockdowns, shutdowns, etc., it still looks like investors had a pretty good year, and folks are already talking about significant upticks in 2021. And finally, we note with a little bit of sadness the passing of 2 great Americans. First of all, General Chuck Yeager, the forerunner of the American space program, the test pilot who broke the sound barrier and who went on to great glory for many, many years, finally passing away at age 97. And one of my childhood heroes, Richie Allen, the Sultan of the Philadelphia SWAT. Unfortunately, he didn't quite get to the Hall of Fame before his passing, so we're hopeful that that Veterans Committee will do the right thing and put one of the greatest bats in the history of the game into the Hall of Fame. But may both of them rest in peace, and may light perpetual shine upon their souls. 2 great men. And for now, that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.